is it the art of science that makes the difference? So this is a live narration. So where do original ideas come from? Is it a notion that becomes a concept that evolves into an idea? Is it art or science that makes a difference when trying to create a breakthrough? What drives people to be creative? Certainly the incentive of winning a race or the satisfaction of doing something for the first time, the desire to create wealth or earn great fame motivates people to achieve excellence. The art and science of racing sailboats is viewed as very different disciplines, and yet the lines are sometimes blurred. Simple observation of how sails and rigs generate power can give seasoned sailors ideas on how to trim their sails more efficiently. Dialogue between the helmsman and tactician like me and the great maestro Herbert von Karajan here generated collective wisdom that led to better ideas. Backing up those ideas were months of experiments based on scientific approach. Sometimes experiments can fail. Take the 1895 America's Cup Defender as an example. She was built with a bronze hull and a very light deck using a material called aluminum. Nice idea until electrolysis ruined the boat and she eventually fell apart. Designing a fast sail with the innovative shape is easy until you actually try to sew the thing together. There's a lot of trial and error in the building phase. It reminds me of that breakthrough aircraft called the F-15. You know why it's the 15? The first 14 didn't work. Then you get so big sails, you forget about the pragmatic part. How do you see where you're going on a boat like this? And when experiments don't work, like this broken mast and 170-foot mast, the frustration can take a devastating toll. But failure forces improvements. The great sailor and CNN founder Ted Turner once told me he wasn't losing races, he was just learning how to win. Nice. Well, after a catastrophic failure, it's back to the drawing board. The threat of another failure might force some conservatism in the next edition of the experiment, but motivated innovators always press ahead. Then, it's back to observation. You can see a lot with simple tools. The human mind makes an infinite number of calculations. High-speed computers also speed up the process, but I always have great faith in instinct and sound judgments. Our brains are the ultimate computer. And the great thing about racing sailboats is dealing with the weather that can't be controlled. Based on years of experience, it's a helpful aspect when the wind blows hard. The America's Cup is a synonym for things brave and big and famous. To those words, I would add one more: spectacular. No inanimate object is more beautiful than two yachts racing bow to bow, sailing for glory and into our affections. But let's not forget the human element. This crew found a simple solution to gain stability for their Bahamian workboat by just adding bodies out on a rack. The competition had no answer. And for the losing skipper of the other boat, do you get frustrated? Do you give up? It's natural to be upset when you're outsmarted, but the true champion finds a way to come back after a defeat. Take the 2013 America's Cup as an example. The American crew was down 8-1 in a series against New Zealand. The first boat to win 9 races would claim the coveted America's Cup, a race that dates back to 1851. The U.S. crew did not give up. Using supercomputers and pure grit, the team studied every conceivable idea. No idea was discarded. The collective action led to the crew learning to sail to windward on its foils. The American boat started sailing at 32 miles per hour. New Zealand was up 8-1. One more race and they would claim the cup. Unfortunately for them, they took the attitude, we're not broke, luck will turn their way. When the USA started foiling, the Kiwis had no answer and lost straight. It was the greatest comeback in any sport. The Olympic Games feature small, swift boats sailed by 1 or 2 crew. Precision between the skipper and crew, handling the boat, and using clever tactics is the key to winning. There's also considerable technological development involved in getting the maximum potential. From a distance, sailboats are graceful and beautiful, especially when majestic mountains provide an inspiring backdrop. It all looks organized and peaceful, but on the water, the battle for supremacy is intense. The teams that have used a scientific approach to enhance their natural skills and instincts will be the ones who prevail when the racing is over. To excel at sailing, or in fact any worthy endeavor, it's using the combination of art and science to make our world a better place. Thank you very much.